Decision saying a no-fly zone could lead to all-out war in Europe. And this morning, Solano County Congressman John Garamendi, who sits on the Armed Services Committee, is joining us live. He just got off a call with Ukrainian President Zelenskyy. Zelenskyy spoke to several members of Congress. Good morning, Congressman. Thanks again for joining us this weekend. What was the message that President Zelenskyy had for you and your fellow lawmakers?
There were basically three messages that he put forth. First of all, he spoke about the Ukrainian people, the suffering that they have, as well as the bravery and their determination to maintain their freedom and to not become subjugated to Putin and to Russia. He's very, very clear about that. He also spoke about the need for continued assistance. He did not ask for a NATO no-fly zone. He did ask for airplanes, Russian airplanes that are presently part of the Polish, Romanian and Bulgarian Air Force, that those planes be transferred to Ukraine. The Ukrainian pilots already trained to fly on those planes so that the Ukrainians, could impose their own no-fly zone. He also went on to say that he gave an example of what Russia intends to do. They intend to decapitate the Ukrainian government. He talked about a mayor in one of the cities that was removed from the city hall, taken and shot. He said that's what they intend to do, is to put in place a puppet government after they remove us. And he said very clearly, I am not leaving. I am the head of state. I am here, and I will continue to support and to lead this government and our people in our fight for our freedom.
Wow. The Ukrainians have just been putting up an impressive fight led by Zelenskyy, but Russia is ratcheting up their attacks. Did Zelenskyy give a sense as to how much longer he feels the Ukrainian force and the people will be able to hold on?
He was quite clear that the Ukrainian people will never be subjects of Russia, that they will fight for their freedom. And clearly, they will fight street by street, block by block, house by house, in the cities of certainly Kyiv and beyond. Ukraine may very well be headed for a lengthy insurgency with extraordinary cost to the Russians. And I believe that the sanctions, together with the eventual awareness of the Russian people of what is now happening and probably will continue to happen in Ukraine, the Russian people will be out on the streets in force, and that Putin's jeopardy really is the Russian people. Already some 7,000 have been arrested in various demonstrations in cities across Russia. More to come. The sanctions are clearly going to hit the Russian economy and the Russian people hard. And when they find out why they are suffering so in Russia, they will find out it's because Putin has unleashed terror in the Ukraine, and they will not stand for that.
Yeah, in terms of what more the U.S. can do, I believe Zelenskyy on this call maybe asked for all imports, oil imports from Russia to stop. He asked for Visa and MasterCard to end their services on Russia. Do you support these actions? What kind of impact do you think they'd make?
Well, first of all, the sanctions do not at the moment include the embargo of Russian oil. It should. And I believe this will happen in the next couple of days. Your previous section about the cost of fuel or gasoline was very much on the president's mind. However, even with the risk of higher gas prices as Russian oil is cut off, certainly from the United States and probably from the international marketplace, gas prices are likely to go up. However, I would suggest that all of us take a very careful look at the extraordinary profits that the oil industry has had over the last several months. That's worthy of investigation. Also, I believe that the U.S. Congress needs to take steps immediately, next week specifically, to pass legislation appropriating the necessary money for humanitarian aid to refugees, as well as humanitarian aid within Ukraine, and also the necessary military supplies and be willing to provide backup or backfill the aircraft that would move from the Eastern European countries into Ukraine, that we backfill those. Those are things that we can and must do. And we ought to also pass legislation that would authorize by law the sanctions that the Biden administration has already put in place, so that there is no doubt about the legality of those sanctions and no doubt about the uniform solidarity of Congress and the American people behind those sanctions being imposed.
Absolutely. Well, Congressman, thank you so much for hopping on this Zoom with us this morning. We know you've already had a very busy morning, and we appreciate your time. So thank you.
Thank you.